What's up, people? Welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. And Manchester United have just drawn 1-1 with Athletic Bilbao in our final game of the pre-season tour. Overall, it was a pretty underwhelming game, to be completely blunt with you. There was some really good performances from some of the players, but overall, it wasn't great. Athletic Bilbao got a red card in about the 60th minute, and we didn't really capitalise on it. Pellistri scored literally with the last kick of the game. We will be talking a little bit about Pellistri in a minute. But overall, 1-1, not the best game, but what do you really expect? We were using our reserve team, really, weren't we? When you actually look at the people who started, it was Tom Heaton in goal. It was, Maguire. It was Lindelof. It was all of the players who really we don't actually want to see much of next season. Let's be quite honest about that. But there was some good performances. I will be honest about it. There wasn't. There was a few people who did really well, but there was some people who didn't do great. I think the immediate thing I noticed from the very beginning was that the partnership of Lindelof and Maguire, it just really bores me. I think it's so slow to build up from the back, and I just don't really like them two as a defensive partnership. I don't think it works. I think Maguire's too slow, and obviously the first goal for Athletic Bilbao was, of course, Maguire's fault. It was really disappointing. It was, and I do feel a bit bad for him. Like, all of the fans were booing Maguire after that goal, which I do think is a little bit disrespectful. I don't think people should be booing the fans. Booing the players. I know that it's frustrating. I know that people don't like Harry Maguire. I know that they expect more from him, but to boo him is a little bit much. But yeah, let me know what you think about that one. Let me know whether you think like booing players is okay. For me, I don't think booing players is okay under any. I mean, obviously, if they do something terrible, but he made a dodgy pass and they scored, and then literally all of the fans for the rest of the game were booing him. Yeah, it was a little bit disappointing. But yeah, I've written down some notes of things that we want to talk about on the show. Before we do jump into it, please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe if you're new. And let me know how you are feeling after the result. 1-1 against Athletic Bilbao. Athletic Bilbao looked quite decent, to be fair. They pressed very, very high. It was quite a good preparation in that sense because they were really, really high pressing. They were a difficult team to break down. They looked quite good, they did. So these are a few things that I found from the game. Pellistri 100% needs to stay. 100%. Pellistri is unbelievable. And forget about his goal. I had this in my notes before he scored the goal. Pellistri is ready to play for Manchester United. We should not be loaning him out this season. If there's any chance of him going to Boca Juniors, we should completely stop that. No way. Pellistri needs to stay at Manchester United. He is absolutely quality. Yeah, I would honestly say that from seeing him today, he should be at least getting 20-30 minutes every single game in the second half of matches, because I think he can change games. Pellistri, I think he's a very, very exciting player. I know obviously he got the goal at the beginning, but before that, he did so much in this game. He offered so much, and Pellistri 100% needs to be a part of this team going forward. For me, he was the man of the match, 100%. I absolutely love him. I think he's a quality player. So let's hope that Pellistri does get a chance next season. I really, really do not want to see him go out on loan. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about Pellistri's performance. Do you think he should go out on loan? Do you think we should keep him at the club? For me, 150% he needs to stay at Manchester United this season because he is unbelievable. He really, really is. The same as Garnacho. I think these two pre-season matches have really showed me that we need to just trust our youth players. We need to trust these youngsters because they're the ones that are showing us what it means to be a Manchester United player. They're the ones showing up. They're the ones putting in these incredible performances. So yeah, definitely keep him. Obviously, I know people are talking about Ahmad, but Ahmad is apparently injured for I saw somebody saying on Twitter that apparently he's injured for about 4 months. I'm not sure if that's true, but apparently Ahmad could be out for quite a long time. So yeah, we definitely need to keep Pellistri 100%. He is the man of the match for me. Incredible player. I think he has a lot of potential. We will go through the player ratings as well in a minute, so I will do that as an interactive one for you guys to get involved with. I'm just going to rattle through all of my little bits of notes that I took down from the show. What else did I write down? So Sancho looked really, really solid today. I was really happy with Sancho's performance. I think he did really, really well. I think he looks like he's building up some confidence again. He did some really nice little flicks, some really good bits of play. And I definitely am excited to see what Sancho can bring this season. I do think it will be the redemption season for him. I think he's going to have a good season. I'm feeling really, really positive about him. Right, let's have a look at what else we've got written down. I think Wan-Bissaka needs to start that game against Wolves. I think he looked pretty good today. Obviously, Dalot had a bit of a rusty game yesterday. So yeah, Wan-Bissaka should definitely be starting the game against Wolves, I think. honestly, this is a bit controversial, but I think Hannibal Mejbri deserves more of a chance than Donny. I think Hannibal looked really, really good when he came onto the pitch. He was pressing so aggressively. He obviously got that player sent off, didn't he? He took the ball off somebody, went past them, and then they ended up getting sent off. I honestly think Hannibal deserves a chance in the team next season. And if it means letting Donny van de Beek go and giving Hannibal his space on the bench, I think that would be a really good move, personally. So, yeah, let me know what you think about that one. And please do make sure you smash a like on the video, everybody. Another thing I really did notice in this match was the defensive build-up was so slow. It just reminded me of the Ollie days when it's Maguire, Lindelof. They pass it side to side, side to side. None of them ever step forward. None of them ever try and do anything. I don't know whether it's they're afraid that they're going to lose the ball and then get a ball over the top and they'll score. But the defensive build-up was so slow. It was so pragmatic and it was so boring to watch. And I just don't think Maguire and Lindelof are a good partnership. Maguire has to go. He does. Lindelof, I still think is worth keeping. I think he has good attributes to him. He does have pace. He is quite good on the ball. I would keep Lindelof, but Maguire, I just think today, again, he just doesn't do himself any favours, does he? The first goal was 100% his fault. I do feel bad for him, though. He was getting booed by all of the fans in the stadium, which I'm not okay with. I don't think it's all right to boo a player. Yeah, he was getting booed, and then towards the second half of the game, the fans were starting to cheer him again. But yeah, it's a little bit sad, isn't it, when your own fans start booing players. And I just think for Maguire's sake, like, he just needs to leave now. He really does. It's clearly not going to work at Manchester United for him. Every time he comes on the pitch recently, something bad happens, and it just ends up being all blamed on him. Everybody says, Maguire's a liability, all the rest of it. And I get it. He is a liability. Every time he seems to play recently, he either gives away a goal, scores an own goal. Like, I can't remember the last time he had a good match. I really can't. So for me, he definitely needs to leave. And that just kind of re-emphasised this match. So I'm going to go through the player ratings really, really quickly. And obviously you guys can get involved in that as well. So Tom Heaton, I thought he looked pretty solid. After watching the game today, I actually think that we can just keep Tom Heaton as the backup goalkeeper. Let me know what you think about that in the comments section. But one of the notes I wrote down was Tom Heaton is good enough to be the backup goalkeeper for this season. I don't think we should be going out spending budget on another goalkeeper. Tom Heaton looks good enough for me. Obviously, we've got Matis Kovar as well. I don't really see the point in going and getting another goalkeeper. Keep Tom Heaton for one season. He looks more than good enough to be the backup. I see no point in spending, 5, 10, 20 million on another goalkeeper. So keep Tom Heaton. Tom Heaton, I'd give a 7 out of 10. Lindelof, I think maybe a 6.5. Maguire, I'd probably say like a 5 out of 10. Eriksen, I think he had quite a good game. He did some quite good passes. I'll give Eriksen a 6 out of 10. Sancho looks really, really good in the first half. I think he looked like he'd got confidence again, and he looked like he was enjoying his football. So I'll give Sancho a 7.5. Pellistri, man of the match for me. I'm giving him a 8.5 out of 10. Pellistri was unbelievable. Absolutely quality player, and he has to play next season. He really, really does. Wan-Bissaka didn't really do anything wrong. I think he was fine. I'd probably give him like a 6.5. Donny van de Beek didn't really offer much. Probably give him like a 6. Fernandes, the young left back, I thought he looked really, really good. This was another point that I wrote down. I think with Malacia, I think Fernandes can push Malacia out of that team. I do. I think this Alvaro Fernandes guy, really, really young, Spanish left back, I think he looks ready to at least be on the bench. I'm not sure whether he's ready to, compete with Luke Shaw at this point, but I think he's ready to compete with Malacia. I do. I think he's good enough. But let me know what you think about that one. Do you think Alvaro Fernandes is ready, or do you think he should go out on loan? We will be talking a little bit about a potential move for him on the show this evening. So yeah, we'll talk about that on the news show later on today. Right, who else have we got? Dan Gore, the number 44. I think he was a defender, isn't he? He looked pretty good. He looked all right. Forson looked all right as well. And then in relation to the subs, I mean, Johnny Evans, not really much to say about Johnny Evans. Probably like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. He looked all right. Hannibal, I thought looked really good, really, really exciting. And I do definitely think that Hannibal deserves some game time next season. And I would even go as far as saying that Hannibal deserves a chance over Donny van de Beek. Obviously, it looks like Donny van de Beek's going to leave. It looks like Fred's going to leave. So for me, I would keep Hannibal unless he can get a really, really good loan move. I would keep him as another midfield option, because what happens if Bruno Fernandes gets injured? Who do you use then? You use Mason Mount, but then that's all you have. So I do think keeping people like Hannibal around the club it is worth it if we push other people out of the club. So if Donny goes, Fred goes, then I see no issue in keeping him. Somebody in the chat saying that Alvaro Fernandes is better than Malacia. Yeah, I don't disagree with you, to be honest, my friend. I don't. I think Malacia is okay. I've never really been that impressed with Malaysia. And I think Alvaro Fernandez today and all of the preseason matches has looked really, really solid. And I definitely think he deserves a chance in the, at least in the bench, and to come on in certain matches. I'm not sure if he's obviously not ready to start over Luke Shaw, but I think he's ready to compete with Malaysia, definitely. I think as well, it also showed me that we definitely do not need Brandon Williams. Alvaro Fernandez is way better than Brandon Williams. We need to sell Brandon Williams, get some money for him. Hopefully we can get around 5 million for Brandon Williams, move him on, and get a bit of money in the bank. Overall, the game, it wasn't the best game of football. It really wasn't. Yesterday, I thought was entertaining. We did do a watch along for the game yesterday, and there was quite a lot of people being quite negative about the football yesterday, and I actually thought we played well yesterday. Obviously today was like the B team, so I don't know what everybody really expected. You know, we're playing the B team and we were playing their first team, so to get 1-1 draw, I know it's not a win. I know some people will be a bit annoyed about it, but I think it was okay. I do. I think it shows Erik ten Hag what we need to still do in this market, because if you look at the team that played today, right, that is our squad depth. And if you actually look through that team, I mean, Tom Heaton, he's fine as a backup. Lindelof is a good backup. Maguire, not good enough. Ericsson, okay as a backup. Sancho, good as a backup. Pellistri, good as a backup. Wan-Bissaka, good as a backup. Van der Beek needs to go. Alvaro Fernandez, I think, is definitely good as a backup. This Gore guy, I assume, will just go back to the youth team. And Forson, I think, will go back to the youth team. So when you actually look through that team, right, of squad depth, Forson, Gore, Van der Beek, and Harry Maguire, all four of them are probably not good enough to be relied upon as, you know, our squad depth. I think the rest of them are. So we probably do need like another 3 or 4 signings, I think, to be at a position where we have a really, really solid foundation and squad depth. Obviously, it looks like we're going to get Amrabat, but we probably need another 2 or 3 signings. Whether we can do that this window, I'm not sure. But so we're on the level where we're competing with, you know, Manchester City and the rest of them. I think you just have to look at this team, right? This is our squad depth. If you compare this with what Manchester City could put out, you know, Manchester City's bench is like Julian Alvarez. We don't even have a striker in our first team. Like, we have Rasmus Højlund, who's just signed. He's the only striker. There wasn't a single striker in the starting lineup today. And you did notice that. There was no cutting edge. We definitely just need to get some people out, bring in another striker, because to go into another match today without a striker is absolutely mental, isn't it? It really, really is. We haven't played a single preseason game this tour with an actual striker. We've had Rashford there, we've had Sancho there. We haven't had an out-and-out striker in one of our matches this pre-season. I don't know where Anthony Martial is. That is a bit of a concern. Anthony Martial wasn't even on the bench for this game, so I don't know what's happened with him. We were told that he was, you know, he was back and he was fit again, but clearly not. So we will try and find out what's going on with Anthony Martial, whether he's leaving the club. That's a possibility. Obviously, Fred didn't feature today and Scott McTominay didn't feature today, but apparently Scott McTominay is injured, whereas Fred is obviously definitely not injured. He's just going to be leaving. So yeah, it is a bit of a concern that Anthony Martial didn't play at all today, you know, and we didn't even have a single striker starting the match, the same as the game yesterday. No striker. Not ideal. It really, really isn't. Yeah, I have no idea what Anthony Martial is. I don't. It is very, very frustrating because he hasn't played a single minute in pre-season, has he? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we really, really need him. We do. But we need somebody. We need anybody. We need anybody to come into this squad and be a striker, because we literally had to play a match today with no striker again. Like, it's just not acceptable, is it? It really, really isn't. I know, what's his name? Hugo. He came on in the second half and like he literally didn't get a single chance, did he? He didn't even touch the ball. And he was the only striker in the squad today. Really not great in that sense of things. I think the attacking play today was a little bit weak. Pellistri obviously had a good game and I thought he was decent. But other than that, there wasn't many standout performances. Like, if you look through the squad, Pellistri looked good. Sancho looked good. Alvaro Fernandez looked good. Other than that, I don't think anybody else looked particularly great. I wouldn't say any of the rest of them were above a 7 out of 10. I'd say they were all pretty average. You know, Tom Heaton was all right. Lindelof was all right. Maguire was poor. Ericsson was all right. Wan-Bissaka was all right. You know, they were all just all right. Whereas Pellistri looked excited. He got me off my seat. Sancho got me off my seat. And Fernandez looked good as well. But other than that, I would say it was a pretty average match. Yeah, and it wasn't the most exciting. I do think the game yesterday was way more exciting. But as always, do let me know in the comment section how you found the match today. Let me know how you're feeling for the season. Obviously, it starts a week tomorrow. We've got 1 week until the season starts against Wolves at home. I can't imagine many of these people playing today will start that game. I would be very, very surprised. The only one who I think might is Sancho. Other than that, I would say that no one else in that starting lineup today will start against Wolves. I would be honestly so surprised. I would. I think it would just be Sancho. And if not Sancho, maybe Wan-Bissaka. I would start Wan-Bissaka against Wolves though. But whether he will do that or not, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. I have a feeling it might be Dalot for that first home game against Wolves. But yeah. Let's wrap the video up here then. It was just a quick one to bring you the final score, to bring you the scoreline and to talk a little bit through the game. Please do make sure to smash the like on the video on your way out. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. We will be live later on today for the evening show. It will probably be at about... I'll probably do it about 7 o'clock tonight. So at 7 o'clock, we will be back for your evening show. Obviously, it's usually at 6 o'clock, but the game's just been on. So yeah, we'll be back at 7 o'clock. I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Lots of love, everybody. Do smash a like on the video. Do subscribe to the channel and do get involved in the comment section. Let me know how you found the game. Are you excited about the start of the season? Are you worried? What do we need? Let me know. I look forward to seeing you guys' opinions. I'll catch you guys in about 45 minutes or so for the evening show. Lots of love and peace out.